Hi, my name is Matthew Davey, and I am the CEO of Tunl.
And I'm Craig Lohman, and I am the COO of Tunl.
Tunl is an export-focused courier, and we are building the best courier to send parcels from emerging markets and frontier markets into developed markets such as the US, EU, UK, and Australia.
Thank you so much, Craig and Matthew, for joining us and giving us a little bit of feedback of where your venture is at now post the eTrack program. So in terms of your progress so far, what are some of the key highlights of your journey up until this point?
Sure. So currently we're in seed stage, and we're in the process of validating our product with test shipments. And that test shipment's certainly been a highlight, just organizing that. We needed volume in order to properly validate our business. So instead of seeking out several merchants and hoping to convince them to trust us with their goods, we took fate into our own hands and ran a campaign on behalf of a charity called Yoga for Alex. Mm-hmm. In order to make this viable, we needed 45 kilos of goods. In the end, we ended up getting 140 kilos of goods shipped to the US for almost 300 products to 152 end customers all across the United States. And in the process, we raised 45,000 Rand for the charity, all while covering the costs of our trial and validating our product. So that was certainly a highlight, and we're just finalizing that shipment.
It's actually ongoing. We sort of praying that everything still goes well. It's gone well so far.
I was quietly confident. Yeah. Quietly confident.
That is great news. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing that's come up since eTrack is that we've been in ongoing discussions with a potential early stage funder. Mm-hmm. And they reached out to us during the demo day pitch, which was online on Zoom, and they reached out to us during that, and we've since been in conversation with them, and it's been really exciting to develop a relationship with them and learn from what they want and from what their own investors want. And that's really pushed us to keep thinking bigger, but also to keep communicating more clearly. So yeah, what a great outcome from that demo day for us.
That's awesome. And it sounds like you guys are really on a roll in terms of getting things going and off the ground. So in terms of some of the more rewarding or perhaps surprising experiences of your venture progress so far, what are some of those? If you can tell us a bit about that.
One of the things I've enjoyed most starting this company is very early on we reached out to merchants who manufacture things in South Africa with the idea that exporting is really problematic. And I mean, just the openness with which they received us, like everyone we reached out to, almost everyone, and that's about 15 or so people, companies of varying sizes, spoke to us just with a cold email or cold call, or some sort of small introduction from someone else. And it was just great hearing their problems, and almost we weren't telling the problems to them, but those are the problems we had in mind that we needed to solve them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, meeting people that could be future customers of ours was a real highlight.
Yeah, and I think tagging onto that, since the eTrack, we've sort of had to jump in with more serious service providers, if I can call it that. So during eTrack, we did some initial testing, which was, in a sense, anyone off the street could do. But since then, we've sort of engaged with, one example is with customs brokers in the US, and another example is with freight forwarders here in South Africa. And it's been really good to work with these different parties and feel respected even as a young startup. And I think the foundation we built during the eTrack has sort of helped us have a voice that feels substantial enough to them to take interest in us, and that's felt good. Yeah. Also, like I said too, I just want to say it's been really great to co-create and start building a business with Craig.
Shucks.
Why? No, because the last few years I've been running a business on my own, and it's just been a lot more rewarding to work with someone.
That's great. And have you had or faced?
I could have said immediately that I agree.
So that's wonderful to hear. And in terms of like any challenges that you guys have faced so far, what are some of those?
So I mean, just one of the main things that's been challenging about this business is it's not to disparage anyone that's selling t-shirts, but it's not selling t-shirts. It's a very complicated business, logistics, with a lot of partners that we have to connect. So it's been difficult. There's been a lot of different hats we have to wear and tons of different tasks we have to do. And naturally, I'm not like that. I'm very much a one or two things and get stuck in a pit bull. And so I'm definitely, it's been challenging, but I've enjoyed the challenge of wearing many hats, doing many things, and having to try and move from one task to the other as seamlessly and efficiently as possible.
No, I sort of reflected on this question and agree 100% with Craig. Trying to determine what's important versus what's urgent is something I'm constantly working on. And Craig and I sat down and we developed what we think we should trademark as a priority matrix / Kanban board, and that really helped us over the last few months just like sort out what to do next. It's not perfect yet, but especially we've been privileged to be able to be working together the last few months, and coming up we've got a period of time where we'll be working remotely, and so having that in place is just going to help focus us.
Okay, great. And in terms of like your entire experience right now, is there anything in particular that you can sort of look back on and think that the eTrack program perhaps positioned you or prepared you for that moment?
Yeah, the eTrack program, on reflection, really pushed us to think about some of the less attractive parts of starting a business. Some of the sort of back-end admin, some of the risks to think about. One of the aspects that we spent a fair amount of time on was actually the shareholders agreement between Craig and I. And we didn't complete that during the eTrack program. We spent a lot of extra time on that. So we spoke to some people to get advice. And really, I think that's sort of that process and all the sessions really of eTrack pushed us to build a stronger foundation. So that's served us well so far. Yeah,
and from my side, I thought the eTrack was a fantastic introduction into the sort of startup environment in South Africa. As Matt mentioned earlier, the funders that we're currently chatting to saw us on that final pitch day. So I'm not sure how easy or even if it would have been possible to be connected with them had it not been for the program. So yeah.
Yeah, even we had a pitch coaching session, which we followed up subsequently. We've had some more pitch coaching sessions ahead of other pitches we've had to do. And that was the introduction made by the eTrack program. So in various ways, just like service providers. Yeah,
just plugging us in there.
Really helped us.
Really, really helpful.
And so in terms of giving any sort of advice to future cohort members for the eTrack program, what would you tell them, or what do you have to say to them for their journey? Any advice?
Yeah, so just very simple. I think it's a fantastic opportunity and experience, but like many things in life, it's one of those things you get out what you put in. So I would just say to the whole cohort, it's a huge opportunity. Put in as much energy as you can, and it'll be worth it. And good luck.
Anything from your side, Matthew? No, I agree with what Craig said. And, yeah, I think it's we learning that as well at the moment is really like out in the big wide world is kind of this squeaky hinge gets the most attention. And so like if you're on the course, push people to help you and be surprised at how people can be receptive. That's not perhaps the best advice I could give, but that's sort of top of mind at the moment. Is you need to make your mark and paying the attention you deserve. So do that in the eTrack course, and you'll get more out of it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much both for giving us feedback. We're glad to hear that you guys are doing so well, and we wish you the best of luck in continuing to grow and scale your business.
Thanks, Sid.
Thanks, Setu.